I'm Steven, this is my Godo Bandit Warlord deck. This is my Godo Bandit Warlord deck. As you can see, Godo is a 3/3 on 6 human barbarian who oddly untaps all your samurai when he attacks, and himself, and gets in again. He also searches up an equipment, which is pretty awesome for this deck. And let's get into it. This is my land base, 27 basic mountains. Skip through those. My non-basics, I got Mirror in the Morning Well. Always going to be able to have a way to sacrifice your creature and gain some life. Kher Keep, one of the other few non-basics I'm running here. It's great to put those Kher tokens out. They can do a lot, especially with Skull Clamp. There's Valakut. It's worth it for the damage, all the mountains you're going to be playing in this deck. Strip Mine, in there for everyone else's lands. These are crack lands, a few of these. They're mainly in there for Crucible of Worlds as a good way of recurring land. Always having it ready. Grixis Panorama, one of those in there, also for Crucible of Worlds. And then Evolving Wilds. And Terramorphic Expanse, same card, pretty much. Alright, so this is the equipment package we're going to get with Godo. This is Argentum Armor. Biggest of them, pumps him up 6/6, and it destroys a permanent whenever he attacks. Godo really exploits this by attacking twice each turn, so he can really start blowing people up. This is going to be your main go-to. Basilisk Collar, Death Touch Lifelink. This is real exploited with other creatures, I'll show you them. Lightning Greaves, just good all around. It's good to give Godo after he's pulled a couple other equipment out. Skull Clamp for drawing cards. Red has a hard time getting cards into your hand, so this is going to help a bunch. Here's some of the mana accelerators. Soul Ring speaks for itself. A couple of the 2-drops. So you pretty much want to accelerate out with all these mana accelerators and then start playing your big splashier red spells. Coalition Relic. Totem here can turn to a creature after the board sweeps, which is pretty good. Extraplanar Lens, this is the first of the double all your land types. So I'd pull a mountain and double the rest. Gauntlet of Power along the same lines. Also pumps up your creatures, which is great because we're mainly finishing with damage at this deck. And Crucible of Worlds, great for all those crack lands. You can keep pulling lands out turn after turn without having to fill your hand back up. So there's Sundial. Again, red has a hard time drawing cards, so anything that can help with that really goes through here. Same with Mind's Eye. Draws off the opponent's draw, which can net you quite a few cards. Here's some of the creatures going through. Dragonmaster Outcast. You normally don't even want to play him until you have the 6 lands and he's online and starts spitting out dragons each turn. And then Dwarven Blastminer is going to destroy a non-basic land each turn. If you get him out early, you can pretty much lock out one opponent. And Soulbright Flamekin gives pretty much all you guys trample, and he also adds to your mana. He's great to have in it. Ashling the Pilgrim, one of those cards that's great with Basilisk Collar. Will blow everything up. And she's just great for sweeping the board when you need it. Goblin Sharpshooter, again, Basilisk Collar, makes him a machine gun. You can take everybody down. And then he's just good for all the little creatures that pop up in EDH. Rakdos Pit Dragon. Helping happens sometimes with red, so. And Obsidian Fireheart, putting blaze counters on your opponent's land. They'll burn even after he leaves the battlefield, so with all that big mana you can generate, it's good to dump him out and just kind of doom one opponent. And then Hidetsugu, also great with the Basilisk Collar. You can get huge life and just destroy everybody. And then here's Kiki-Jiki, copies all your creatures. Here's a bunch of the creatures that are good to target with him. Simulacrum, Flametongue Kavu, Siege Gang, and Duplicant. All good aggressive creatures in the deck. Hellkite. And these are some of our more heavy hitters here. The Hellkite Charger. He also, like Godo, can double your attack, so he's a great person to equip up with that Argentum Armor. And then you could just pound away at one guy and finish him off quick, is the idea. Steel Hellkite. Red has a hard time destroying some of those enchantments, so he really comes in big. Knollspine Dragon. He's a great way of refilling your hand. Get a bunch of damage on one guy and then drop him and load back up. Mileage of Infinite Rage. He'll destroy all lands with his Divinity counter. So usually after you play him in a board position, you can just pop the lands and call it. And Cozy, again, really hard to get those hands, so he draws you 4 cards and is a great attacker. Here's some of the damage. Chain Reaction, kind of Red's Wrath of God. Lava Flow, good to have some point removal. Instant Command for whatever the situation calls for, usually destroying lands, shuffling hands around. And Jaws of Stone can get big and divides easy with all your mountains. Disaster Radius, well, as big cost creatures you can reveal, and then just cripple all of your opponents. Here's some of the artifact shenanigans we're running. Mycosync Lattice is one of the big combo pieces. Makes all the other artifact stuff go real smooth. I'll go into those. And Liquid Metal Coating, kind of like the one-shot Mycosync Lattice. Changes that one thing to an artifact each turn. Best thing you can do with Lattice is Shattering Spree. It makes any mana you produce give you red, so tap out all your artifacts, everything, and just point and destroy whatever's best. Sculpting Still, once you got either of those two, you could pick whatever permanent you want and copy it. Or copy Gauntlet of Power. All good. Initial Heretic. You could just once a turn with Liquid Metal Coating, destroy anything you want. And they're taking damage at the same time. Same thing with Shattering Pulse, has buyback. So yeah, there are always going to be great artifacts in EDH, but making them an artifact, you can just destroy anything you want. And then for your artifacts, or if you get Mycosync out, just Dark Soul Forge, turns everything you have indestructible. And here's some of our non-basic hosers here. Magnus of the Moon, all non-basic lands are mountains. Hardly hurts you, but can really hurt opponents. And Ruination, destroys all non-basic lands. And this usually will hit 1 or 2 of yours, but it was more than worth it to wipe everybody else's out. Here are some few red draw cards we have. Wheel of Fate, or Wheel of Fortune, and then Wheel of Fate, the suspended. Here's one of the few red search cards. There's not a lot of tutors in red. This one is a gamble, but usually it's worth it to grab that one crucial card, especially in your opening hand. You're usually going to be okay just pitching something else. But tutoring is such a strong ability in EDH, it's good to have whatever you can bring to the table. Goblin Assault, real good with the Skull Clamp. You can put it on there and get 2 cards each turn, or just start building up a small little attacking army of goblins. And here's In the Web of War, which makes all of your creatures just get big and nasty right out of the gate. Works real well with Siege Gang Commander. And Vicious Shadows, this will get your opponent's life total down fast. Creatures are always dying, especially with the sweeps. Put this out there and a ton of damage. Here's the one Planeswalker I'm running, Koth. Decided against the Chandras, just not as powerful in this type of deck. Koth's Emblem is mainly what you want to get out of him. But his second ability is really good at points. Elemental Appeal. You usually want to kick this thing out and then shoot 14 to the face of someone. All types of things you can do with that, but it's good to have a big damage creature. And then Goblin Offensive, also great with In the Web of War. You could throw a whole ton of goblins out and cinch somebody off. Of course, Insurrection, take everybody's, big splashy swing. And Reiterate. Again with buyback, keep those cards in your hand, and copy anything you want.
Thanks for watching CMDR decks. Please subscribe and favorite.